That's the basic of the week, right? Yes. We are here in this part of the imperatives. Yesterday we were talking about this. Imperatives are words to give instructions, orders, and we said, well, 90% of the imperatives are verbs. And we had some exercises yesterday. We had to, for example, with this exercise number one, we had to match the sentences with the situation. That's what we did. And then we had this other part that we have to do with, well, trying to do a smoothie. And here it says you're going to give instructions for making a banana strawberry smoothie. Match a verb from column A with the phrase from column B. And that's what we did yesterday. We had these photos and we had to write a sentence. Number one, this is to slice a banana. This number two was wash the strawberries. Number three was to cut. This was number three. Number four was to pour. Pour means better eat the juice in the blender. Number five was to add. Yes, was to add the strawberries in half, I think. And number six was to blend the ingredients until smooth. It was number six. And now we have another exercise with imperatives that's also very graphic because of the way we use this in classes of martial arts. And all these words that we have here are the words that we have to use to complete the sentences. Like it says here, read this advertisement for a martial arts school, complete it using the primitive or negative imperative form, the verbs in the box. So here we have, for example, become, miss, choose, register, decrease, take, increase, take, learn, wait. And this is like an advertisement, like it says the instruction that we have to complete with the words that are missing here. This has to do again with this idea of imperatives, instructions that, well, when you have to register to a school or something that you're going to do, we have some things that we have to do. For example, the first sentence here says, don't think that martial arts is only about physical training. And then we have to go on with the next sentences and try to use the verbs that we have here to complete the ad, the advertisement. So let's try to do this and then we will check. This is the exercise. Imperatives again here. Hi, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Soto.
Yes, hi, hello, good morning.
Yesterday I saw you that
I'm busy.
on the spot when the people arrive late. Just for that reason
It doesn't matter if you're late or not late, you have to greet to the class morning, afternoon, whatever. Yeah. Hi, good morning. Okay, we have, sorry, we have to complete this with verbs that we have here. It has a relation with advertisement. These are martial arts classes and okay, and it starts like this, for number one, don't think that martial arts is only about physical training. A good martial arts program offers many other benefits as well. And this number two, what verb do we use here? Exactly. Learn self-defense and more at the Martial Arts Academy. Exactly. And this number three, exactly, decreases stress. Martial arts training helps you relax. And number four, yes, increase concentration. Martial arts students focus better. Number five, yes, become fit, strength and flexibility improve as you learn. Then we are offering an introductory trial membership. And this number six. Yes, don't miss this special opportunity. And number seven. Yes, take classes with Master Lorenzo Gibbons, a ninth level black belt master. And number eight. Yes, choose classes from our convenient schedule. And number nine, don't wait. And 10, register now for a 2-week trial. Exactly. Only $20. Uniform included, says. Okay, and this other one is find 6 mistakes in this martial arts students essay. That is exercise. Mistakes about the use of imperative, 5 mistakes here. And that's what we have to do now. Right? Okay, sorry, five mistakes, and these are the imperative. The first sentence, I'm going to read the first one. For the black belt to say, Master Gibbons gave us this assignment. Okay, somebody can read the next sentences, please? Okay.
For the fact that is master gives they are like write about something important to you. My topic is the right way, the rules of life for the martial arts. First, respect other people, treat them the way you want them to treat you. Second, help people in need. In other words, use your strength for others. Don't use it just for your own words. And they don't lie or steal. These are the most important rules to.
Yes, exactly. So the mistakes are in the first part about I typed the right the rules of first respects. This is one, right? One of the mistakes. Then people treat them the way you want them to treat you. Second, helped. This is another one. Help. This should be only help. Help people in need. In other words, use your strength for others. This not to use, don't use. Then don't lie, exactly like you said. And those are the five, right? The five mistakes. Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay, this is the first self-test. This is like a test, like well, they say this is similar to the tests and exams that you take with when you want to have a grade in to enter the university. This exam that is called TOEFL, more or less is like this. TOEFL exams are very similar to this, and well, this is what measures your the knowledge of or how much you know, right? This is the idea. You have to choose the best option to complete the sentence. Here are the ABCD, and that's the first part. And the second part is to find a mistake and correct the mistake. These are the two parts of this first exam. This called self-test. So, okay, let's do this because it's good to know how are you, how much do you know about the things we saw in the first unit. So try to do this. It is not difficult. Yes, yes, of course. Okay, number one, somebody can read this? Well, first we have an example, like we have to choose the options here. Jennifer never, option B, never drinks coffee. This is answer for this. And the same idea with other sentences. Okay, number one, somebody can read this. Okay,
Are you ready for school? It's already 7 o'clock.
exactly. This is option B. Are you getting ready for school? It's already 7. Okay, number two, somebody, okay.
Well, every year.
Exactly, this goes, yes, this is option D. Number three, somebody else is. Why, this is a question. Number three, somebody. Okay,
Why are you leaving? Class isn't over yet.
yes, why are you leaving class? Isn't over yet. Okay, number four, okay,
Something smells good, it's fresh bread in the oven.
something that smells good, yes. Is that fresh bread in the oven? Yes, exactly. Number five, okay,
Which class do you like best?
exactly. Which class do you like best? Yes, this is answer for this. Yes. Number six. Okay. Exactly. Where, right? Wear loose clothes to exercise, you'll be more comfortable. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, and number seven. Okay, yes, please, exactly. Please come to class on time. Yes. And number eight. Okay,
I hear something outside. Are the doors locked?
yes, I hear something outside. Are the doors locked? Exactly. And number nine. Okay, exactly. Walk, don't run. These are the imperatives, right? Yes. Okay, number 10. This is again, yes,
Do you like fish? Yes, I do.
exactly like this. Yes, I do. Very easy. Yeah, okay. And here we have more of this. 11. Okay,
Harry works all the time. He never relaxes.
yes, Harry works all the time. He never relaxes. Yes, okay. Good, thanks. 12. Okay, exactly. What are you doing these days? Exactly. Okay. And number 13.
And
Okay,
the baby is so big, how much does she weigh?
how much does she weigh? Yeah, exactly. How much does she weigh? Yes. And 14. Okay,
Yes, I am.
exactly. Yes, again. Okay, and 15. Okay,
Water, both,
yes, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, exactly. Okay, then this other one is to find the mistake and correct the mistake. The example here, Fran says, Fran usually is swimming before work. No, sorry. Mike usually drives to school, but today he walks, it says. So D is not correct here. But today you can say he's walking. This is the answer here. Yes. Okay. Number 16, somebody? Okay. Yes.
The mistake to the letter A.
And should say, yes, Fran usually swims before work, but this morning she's jogging exactly. Number 17. Okay, well, you didn't do this, right? Okay, do it then we'll check. Number 17, okay. Yes, how is the correct one then? If we change B, what do we have to change there? To make the sentence correct? Because we have to find the mistake and find the correct way to say this. Well, just check, yes, the wind is blowing. Yep, yeah, but the wind is blows is not correct because blow is a verb, and if you say it's blows, we're mixing things, the verb be with a verb in simple present, so it is not correct to say it blows.
The wind is better. See, it will be the wind is blowing, it is raining, the sky looks like.
Yeah, that's correct. See,
It's not actually better.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, this is correct. The wind is blowing. It is raining and the sky looks gray. C is the one that is not correct. Should be, it is raining. Yes. Okay, well, do the other ones and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, number one, trying to swims, number two, the wind is blowing, C is not correct, and, okay, number three, somebody can read this? Okay, or I mean 18, sorry, 18, yes, okay,
Or mistakes. The mistake is the very, because it will be, where are you working? Days after school?
exactly, that's the correct one, where are you working these days after school, yes, exactly. Okay, and number 19. Okay,
Don't work so long. Don't fall down.
yes, don't fall down, yes. Okay, and 20. Okay,
Something same paper that you're working and you perform. Then mistakes to be, it seems.
exactly, something seems different, or you're wearing a new perfume, yes. 21.
We always eat out because we taste good. And the mistake is hate, it's just hate.
Exactly, hate, only hate, exactly, okay. 22. Okay,
Reason why it's usually unique, but today is late. Then says A is usually arrives.
exactly, the position, right? Yes, Luis arrives. That usually is not correct, usually arrives, okay, yes, good, thanks. And 23. Yeah,
And we have to wait. Using it at home. Mistake. Don't
yes. Don't use, I need my C player, we don't use it. No, how's that, yeah,
For me, mistakes is B.
B, yeah. Yes. And the correct way? Yeah, I need my CD player if you aren't using it at the moment, aren't using it at the moment, yes. All this is like, well, present continuous because at the moment, action and all these things that we talked. And number 24. Okay. Yes, I always lose my pen. It's okay. I never have anything to write with because I always lose my pens. Yes. I always lose my pens. Exactly. Okay. 25. Okay.
So again, that, and you don't forget to see. The mistake is B. You.
Exactly. This is an imperative and we know that we don't have subjects. So yes, B is not correct. Turn left or right. And don't forget to signal. Exactly. If somebody has questions or something. Okay, the next unit is about a simple past, and we start this part with the past tense of the verb be, but before, like we saw, like usually we have in the units, we have this picture, painting, photo, and it is, I was a poet. I traveled far and wide. I lived until 80 and then I died. Albert Rhymes, 1910, 1990. And I suppose it is a wife. Oh, Albert, you were a good man, but a lousy poet, says. That's, well, the graphic or the picture for, with this idea of past tense, the sentences are with what was, then we have traveled, lived, died. This is what we're going to see in this unit. Now, the checkpoint says, check the year these sentences appeared in a newspaper. Poet Albert Rhymes lives in Belgium, 1989 or 1999. What's the year? 89, right? 1989, yes. Because it says lives in Belgium, so he lived in 1989 before he died. Yes. And poet Albert Rhymes lived in Belgium most of his life. This was in 1989 or 1999.
1999.
1999, exactly. Yes. Okay, now all the things that we have to do with the verb be, that I think is something that you know, and well, this is just to remember and probably ask things that you didn't understand and all those ideas that we talked before. So the past tense of the verb be is this, right? We have was and where. Was singular and where is for plural, like we say. When we talk about the verb be, we say is singular, are is plural, and the same happens with the past, because past of is was, past of are where, and the idea of singular and plural happens the same in the past tense. So when we say was, it's because it's singular, or where because it's plural, and besides the subjects that accompany with a verb, we know that was is used with I, he, she, it, and we know that where is with we, you, that. That's something that we know. Then we have the simple past tense with regular verbs. What are the rules about regular verbs? Easy, right? Because we have a verb plus ed. All the verbs have this in this. All the verbs have this characteristic that we have the verb plus ed. Well, and there are some rules about spelling also here, but I think you remember, and then we will see the rules. But the basic thing is the verb plus ed is a regular verb. And another important thing about the past tense with regular verbs is that the subjects, the verb doesn't change with any of the subjects. We have all the subjects and the verb doesn't change. I, he, she, it, we, you, they, and the verb is the same. How do we have to learn this? Or how do we know that some verbs are regular and some verbs are irregular? There's no formula for this. You have to study. And that's one of the problems. You don't study. How many verbs in the past do you know? I cannot tell how many verbs do you have to know. This is part of your, how much English do you want to know? Because this part also of vocabulary. So if you know many verbs in the past, good. If you calculate all the time that you have been in a CBA and you just memorize or practice 2 verbs every day, you are in the CBA like 6 months, probably 5, 3, I don't know exactly. Let's say 1 month. Classes of 1 month are 20 days more or less. So 20 times 2, 40 verbs. You should know every month, more or less. 40 verbs every month, and 2 months, 80. That's a lot. So just knowing, for example, 40 verbs in the past, I think it's okay. But you can know more, or you can learn more, you can memorize more. I think But that's one of the problems. Until now, in these courses, some people don't know the past tense of some, but okay. This is part of checking in practice, like I said, trying to change your Spanish into English every day. This is the best way to have this idea of exercise, because if you don't use verbs, you don't use English, you forget, and this make you won't have a good English, let's say. Okay, well, this is the past tense of verb be, and we have the charts check here. How many, it says, the first part, how many forms does the past tense of be have? One or two? We know this is two. What do you add to the base form of the regular verbs to form the past tense? D or ed or t, it says here. D or ed, exactly. And then we have the structure. We have the subject, the verb, and the complement if you want. The same happens with the simple past tense of the regular verbs. We have the subject, the verb, and the past, and the complement. And the irregular verbs here, the simple past tense, irregular verb, subject, again, all the subjects with the verbs. Wrote, became, and built. These are the past tense of some verbs that we know. And then we have the complement or objects, poetry, famous, and monument, it says here. So all of this unit is about the past tense. We are going to check verb be, past, irregular verbs past, and irregular here. Good exercise to remember all the things that you have learned about the past tense. It just this number one, or this express check, complete the chart, it says. Verb be, the past, what's the wasn't, where, come, the past, came and saved. Saved, exactly. Okay. Now the explanations and to understand the concept and the idea of simple past, etc., etc. It is important to know that, remember that also present perfect is past. What's the difference between present perfect and simple past past? Because both talk about the past. Present perfect talks about the past, and simple past talks about the past.
I think in the simple past, it's like the action is finished. It has time expression like yesterday, last year, this month, and the present perfect is an action complete.
Yeah, yeah, that's one part. Actually, in both cases, we have action finished too. We have present perfect past, action finished, and simple past, action finished also. The difference between one or another is one uses time and the other one does not use time. That's the basic difference. But just to remember, because when we teach this in classes like basic grammar for people that are starting English, we never said simple past doesn't use time or uses time. We don't talk about that. We just say, this is the sentence that we have to do or you have to make. When we talk about the past, you have to learn the verbs in the past, etc., etc. But we never talk about that this simple past uses a specific time. We don't say that because you're learning. And too much information, it doesn't work in many cases with students. So we just talk about this when we start with present perfect. When we see or we explain present perfect, we have to make the difference between using simple past and present perfect. Until that, you don't know anything. But now, this is to remember most of the time, or mostly, how we make sentences and the verbs in the past. That's what we have. The grammar explanation here, like you said, action finished. That's the idea. And when we talk about action finished, it means that finished. In this moment, if I did something yesterday, finished over there. It's not present perfect has the option. That's the second part of present perfect, the option of, you know, and we starts in the past and can continue. That's the second part. Yes, but in this case, simple past, the action is finished, and that's it. That's how we have to understand and see the use of this simple past. Here we have the time chart, and it says here he was a poet. Here he died, and well, no more poet. Let's say. Sentences like examples. Albert Rhymes lived in the 20th century. He was a poet. He wrote poetry too. Lived, to remember if you want, was the verb be, and wrote is the other verb that is irregular in this sentence. And then we have this, you can use this, the other explanation, number two, you can use the simple past tense with time expressions that refer to the past. This is very important to remember because sometimes when we see this in present perfect, people don't remember the time expression, this past time expression. What words are time expressions in the past? This is some of the words that we use like time expressions in the past. Saying this last week by 1980 in the 20th century, 50 years ago. Typical words that are used with this idea of past time expression. So what we say here, actually, to make the difference between present perfect is that simple past uses a specific time. And these are the words. These words here, not used in or with present perfect. Okay, by 1930, he was famous. He died more than 10 years ago. These are the time expressions in the sentence in the past. Died was the verbs. And here we have the regular verbs that we said we add EDs to most of them. In some cases, we just add D to the regular verb in the past. Like examples here, base form. This is another thing that is also important to remember when we talk about the base form. Live, base form, lived. Join, joined. Play, played. Study, studied. Hop, hopped. Be, was, where. Have, had, get, got, go, went. Easy. All these things that we use all the time. The common verbs that we have. And it says here, be careful. There are often spelling changes when you add ed to the verb. And it says many common verbs are irregular. Their past tense is not formed by adding d or ed. These are those that are irregular, like have, had, get, got, etc. These are the rules about irregular and regular verbs. Now the spelling. What do you remember about the spelling of this of these regular verbs in the past? What are the rules about spelling with regular verbs in the past? Yeah, there are 2 or 3 rules, I think, and that's all. One is, what's one of the rules that you remember about spelling with the past tense of regular verbs? One of the rules, easy rule. Which one is it? In this part of spelling. You don't remember? Okay, you can check after this page. I had this page 344. It's over there. You will find the rules. They are not so difficult to remember. There are 3, I think. 3 or more than that, no. Okay, here we have this first exercise. It says identify. Read about Japanese poet Matsuo Basho. Underline all the regular past tense verbs and circle all the irregular past tense verbs. This is a good exercise to practice this verbs in the past, so try to do this. It's easy because regular and irregular verbs. It says here, circle the irregular and underline the regular verbs. Good exercise to remember the past tense of verbs. Mire, voy a llamar a Lisa para ver quiénes son, por favor. Alejandra Camacho, Antonio Campero, Judith Chila, Gustavo Fernández, María Fernanda Gutiérrez.
Here, teacher.
Okay, hi. Fernanda Meneses. Okay. Maylene Orellana. Gabriel Pinto.
Present.
Marvin Pozo. Alex Ramos.
Good morning, teacher. Here.
Hi, hello. Carla Santibáñez. Carla Santibáñez. Okay, it is completed using the simple past tense form of the words and boxes. This is the biography of this Emily Dickinson. So, exercise. Emily Dickinson, one of the most popular American poets, lived from 1830 to 1886. What verb do we use here? Yes, exactly. She wrote about love, nature, and time. These, yes, these were her favorite themes. Dickinson, An Unusual Life. Yes, led is the answer here. The past of lead, led. Dickinson led an unusual life. After just 1 year of college, she became a recluse. She almost never left her house in Amherst, Massachusetts. At home, yes, she saw no one except her family, and she only wore white. Okay, this other one is with the photos that you have in the text of the book, can help understand some of the words that we have here. And the first part, we have this address appear, happen, right? That's what we have to use to complete the sentences. Okay, and this part says, in addition to her poetry, Dickinson, yes, wrote many letters. Other people always, yeah, the envelopes for her addressed the envelopes for her during her lifetime. Only 7 of her 1,700 poems, yes, appeared in print, and this happened without her knowledge or permission. Okay, now this is part of the poem of Miss Emily Dickinson. Okay, it says a bird came down the walk. He didn't know I. Let's try.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
the meaning of fellow,
The
fellow
meaning
route,
of the fellow is somebody, something. In this case, this is a worm or the bird or a person. That's a fellow person.
like a partner,
Sorry?
like a partner.
Yes, like a partner. Yeah, friend, person. It has, depends on the context. You can use this part is about an animal, so. Fellow is used with that idea. The fellow is, in this case, a worm.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, it says a bird, again, a bird came down the walk. And the sentence, he didn't know I. What verb do we use here?
Say.
Say?
So,
Yeah, saw. He didn't know I saw. He,
eight. Five.
yes, he bit an angle worm in half. And ate the fellow raw. And then he, yeah, because if you follow the photos, and he drank a dew from a convenient grass. And then, yes, hopped. Hopped is like jumping, right? Hopped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. Yes, and well, the vocabulary here, if you check the vocabulary, this is the worm. This is the dew. This the water, the dew, when they drop. That's a dew. And what else? Sidewise to the wall is like say next to the wall, in other words. And the beetle is the insect. Those are the, well, words that probably are new and I think that's a new vocabulary. Or if you have any other questions. Okay, that's the way we have to use this. This is to practice the past tense of these verbs: address, addressed, appear, appeared, happen, happened, write, wrote. This is bite. The past tense of bite is bit. This is come, came, drink, drank, eat, ate, hop, hopped. And this over here, seesaw. This is, well, the good exercise to remember the past tense. And if you don't know, well, now you know. That's a good exercise to practice. This other one is to correct and find 8 mistakes in the use of the simple past tense. I think is very easy because you have to find the words that probably are written in a bad way and wrong. And that's exercise. To find 8 mistakes in the use of the simple past tense. It says, okay, the first sentence today is, today in class we read a poem by Robert Frost. And we have here the first mistake. I really enjoyed it. That's what it says. And this is the first mistake. Enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. The next sentence, somebody can read this, please, miss. Okay. Yes.
Was about a person who chooses between two roads in a forest.
Yes, until there, what errors or mistakes? Yes, in the correct way is to. The correct way is, this verb is what? The past tense of this.
True.
No, the pronunciation is different. This is choose, okay, it's not correct, and the past tense is chose. Yes, that's a mistake. Who chose between two roads in a forest? Okay, yes, another person, the next sentence, before he, please, Miss, can you read this? Please, thanks. Yes, okay, and one mistake here, no mistakes. Yes. The correct one is only spent. Spent with a T, right? Spent. Okay, the next sentence, please. Somebody can read this. Many people. Miss over there, Mr. Rico. The next one, please. Many.
The person where was.
Yes. Mistakes here, no mistakes. No mistakes. Many people thought the person were Frost. Yeah, because this is words for plural. Here we're talking about a person was Frost. Okay, another person in the end can read this list, Miss, okay? Fernando.
In the end, he took the road that was less traveled.
The mistake is took, right? Yes, in the end, he took the road that was less traveled. On, then the next one, he, the other sentence, somebody can read this. Mr. Soria, please, can you read the? He decided.
He decided to be old. That decision changed his life a lot. Mistake would be he decided it's okay to be old. That decision changed. Maybe it's important of
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be in the past tense, changed, right? The past tense. That decision changed his life a lot, yes. Then we have, sometimes I feel a little like Frost, in that part, do we change something? Okay, yes, but I don't think so. This is sometimes is a frequency adverb, and why in the past? Remember that frequency adverbs are used in the with simple present. So it cannot be felt, so this is correct. Sometimes I feel is correct, no changes. Yes, and 2 years ago, I decided to come to this country. What mistake? Decided, here, right? Yes, decided. We have to change to the past tense. Yes, and to this country, that were the biggest decision of my life.
That was.
Yes, this was this. So we have one, two, three, four, 6, 7, 8. 8 mistakes. Yes, questions or something that you want to know here? Yes.
Question. It's possible to increase our English skills on listening or listening to within 40 English.
Yes, everything helps. The only thing with poems is that the meaning of the sentences sometimes are not exactly what you translate, because this has to do with the context. It's very subjective.
Because this.
We have a lot of vocabulary in poems. Yes, but it helps with the vocabulary a lot. Anything that you do in English, whatever, helps. Anything, because, for example, in this poem, when they mentioned the word do, for example, and in some part, this do here, like part of the vocabulary here, this do, or this fellow wrong. What's wrong? Crudo, claro, porque se ha comido el gusano crudo. Y dice fellow, gusano, fellow es, sí, amigo, es persona, amigo, compañero, something like that. And that's also part of the vocabulary. A do, this is here. El amanecer, hay las gotas del rocío. And grass, can be in grass. Bueno, grass, like también del, no, el pasto, qué sé yo. Then we have this hop, for example. It helps with the vocabulary. Yeah, whatever you do in English is very useful. It helps a lot because yo no sé todas las palabras en inglés. ¿Sorpresa? No. No sé, pues. Entonces, cada día aprendo también, porque leyendo, escuchando, hay cosas que leo. En clases usamos un lenguaje muy, sí, básico, si quieren, muy fácil. Entonces, todos los días usando eso, y cuando escucho, a veces, bueno, como televisión, películas o noticias en CNN. A mí me gusta CNN por todo, porque hay noticias de todo tipo y el inglés que usan, y uno va viendo el vocabulario para política, para deportes, para ciencia, para, ¿no? ¿Qué más hay? Entrevistas, por ejemplo, el lenguaje de abogados, todo, es todo. Ese es más o menos el inglés que se usa así en el diario vivir en algún lugar donde hablan inglés todo el tiempo, como cuando aquí escuchamos personas hablar de política y leyes, ese tipo de cosas. Hay todo eso igual en esos lugares de donde viene la noticia, y además culturalmente también es información, porque muestran otros países, costumbres, ese tipo de cosas, y es importante saber. Entonces, y el lenguaje, a veces ahí, vocabulario, yo no sé. Entonces, yo lo sé, pero entiendo. Entonces, yo lo que les digo también en clases es, a veces preguntan, ¿qué significa? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es hop? Entonces, el contexto es el que ayuda. Ustedes tienen que tener la habilidad, ya están en este nivel de inglés, entonces, tienen que tener la habilidad de entender las palabras de una u otra forma, no necesariamente traduciendo, porque si traducen con diccionario recontra fácil, yo los veo usar sus celulares, no sé qué hacen exactamente, y es lo que pasa en los exámenes también. Cuando uno da examen en Zoom, ¿quién sabe qué estén haciendo con sus celulares? No podemos controlar esa parte. Los exámenes en el CBA son un desastre en general, porque son 80% fraude para mí, porque yo no veo lo que hacen, solamente veo caras. ¿Sí? Como dicen, caras vemos, corazones no sabemos, más o menos. ¿No? Entonces yo no sé, y bueno, uno se da cuenta después en el examen el nivel de inglés que existe, porque especialmente los teenagers y los pre-teenagers que se llaman, y los adultos también pasa un poco, por ahí menos, pero los teenagers son los que más tienen esa tendencia de por sus papás, porque tienen que pasar de curso y no les importa saber o no saber, ese tipo de cosas pasan con los chicos porque los papás los deben después si les va mal. Entonces, cuando uno hace ejercicios, por mil, en contra, yo les puedo mostrar exámenes cuando quieran de personas que han escrito en español la respuesta y no la han llegado a traducir porque se han olvidado, algo ha pasado, pues. También el tiempo, yo con el tiempo soy muy estricto, por si acaso, también porque he tenido problemas con estudiantes en cuanto al tiempo, porque hay algunos teachers les dan como 50 minutos dura el examen para todos los niveles, no es más de eso. Entonces hay teachers que les dan 1 hora, no sé, terrible también. Entonces, el tiempo hace un poco de repente de que por el tiempo se olvidan cosas, pero hay exámenes donde hay español, pregunta, digamos, what's your name? My name is, tienes que decir la respuesta, y dice, mi nombre es, dice así. Entonces dejan en español varias cosas, y la otra parte es cuando hay que escribir, digamos, párrafos de algún tema, usan un inglés que ni yo sé. O sea, entonces no puedes creer que con el nivel de inglés que tienen tengan unos párrafos escritos con palabras que ni siquiera hemos usado en clases. Entonces, hay uno se da cuenta y dice, entonces, tú has escrito esto, has traducido, has usado el AI, inteligencia artificial, también también se puede usar inteligencia artificial. Escriban quiero un diálogo sobre esta comida, pedir comida en un restaurante. Entonces, todo eso hay. Nosotros, no hablando solamente de mí, yo veo aquí ahorita, ni siquiera prenden sus cámaras, estos chicos que están en Zoom y deberían prender porque se supone que tienen que estar en clase. Ahorita no sé si están en clases o si están durmiendo, ¿qué estarán haciendo? Entonces ese es otro problema. Y cuando damos examen, cara, sí, como ahorita, con el celular pueden usar para hacer cosas. Entonces, yo no tengo la certeza de que realmente el examen esté hecho por los mismos estudiantes. Entonces, ese es un problema. Y el nivel de inglés, en realidad, en CBA ha bajado un montón. Hay chicos que están a ciertos niveles y no saben lo básico en muchos casos, ¿no? Y siempre ha habido un problema de speaking en CBA. Igual hay gente que no habla inglés para nada, por muchos motivos, ¿no? No hablan inglés. Entonces, la idea es de que cuando uno va pasando clases, tenga más o menos bien los 4 niveles, que son writing, reading, speaking y grammar, digamos. Entonces, algunos pueden tener mejor en writing, mejor en grammar, porque grammar al final uno puede estudiar y hacer nomás los ejercicios, pero a ver, aplicaremos lo que hemos aprendido para hablar. Hablaremos más fluidito, más o menos. O sea, ese tipo de cosas no están bien. Y la gramática también. Entonces, eso de las clases en Zoom está bien para momentos, yo creo. Pero los exámenes deberían ser, hemos pedido que los exámenes sean presenciales, pero es muy difícil que puedan ser presenciales porque los papás, cualquier cosa te pueden decir, no puedo llevarlo a mi hijo. Entonces, ¿qué hacen? Entonces, tienen que estar en Zoom. Entonces, ya con esta idea de que existen las dos modalidades, de presencial y Zoom, entonces cualquier persona dice, yo no puedo ir a clases de inglés porque trabajo y mientras estoy trabajando estoy pasando clases, digamos. Entonces, todo un problema, ¿no? Y como estamos acostumbrados a disculparnos de todo, tengo que hacer esto, no puedo hacer esto, no tengo cámara, mi micrófono no funciona, internet es muy lento, todas esas cosas pasan. Yo he pasado por todo eso en realidad. Entonces, el examen no es tan cierto. Yo puedo dudar del examen, en realidad si está bien o mal en general, entonces no tengo la certeza.
Teacher, what's the, the main focus on, okay, no sé, what will be the certainty about the real skill of our student in case, for example, he or she doesn't take some religion. What do you they know that person is already there?
How can I know? I can't really. I'm not 100% sure that he is. Well, one thing is by participating in some cases, you can see if he knows some English. And but I'm not 100% sure that he has a good level. And for example, I have students that los mismos estudiantes, the same students. Now, sometimes they have classes or pass classes by online, and some come to the CBA. And 2 days ago, to the students that are in classes, I said, okay, write this, a topic about something. You had a paragraph of 5 lines, for example. I said, write this. Okay, you can work in pairs, okay, whatever. And then after writing, finish? Yes, finish. Okay, I'll check. The writing, bad writing. And that's something that tells you that how is the level in English. And then I said, hey, ¿y ustedes por qué cuando dan examen escriben tan bien? Entonces, nadie te dice nada, pues, ¿qué te va a decir? Es que yo no sé. Entonces, hay ese tipo de cosas. Entonces, no se puede saber.
Mrs. Chorella, who is excited teacher, told me once, every September or December, last December. I asked her about this case of say, trampa. Who's in English, trampa?
Cheat.
And she told me that actually there is a yeah.
Ahí, yes.
CBA that we already could know if you are cheap for CBA. I don't know.
Yes, you can, but it is not necessary to use that because by writing an exam, you can tell what's happening with the student. They say there are platforms where you can check, and this platform tells you this person is using AI, for example. Yes. But for me, that is not necessary because I can know. Where I cannot know exactly if they're cheating or not is when we have exercises like answer these questions or complete this with the correct verb, this kind of thing. In that part, it's a little bit difficult. But for example, if we have an exam of past tense or present perfect, you have to know the past participles. O sea, de cómo sé que saben los past participles o los past tense realmente de memoria, porque muy fácil es tener en el celular el past tense y el past participle y ver y listo y copiar, nada más. O sea, those kind of things make us not believe exactly that the exams are 100% honest. And well, and that's how the things are now like this. And but hopefully students en algún momento también saben de que lo que están haciendo no está bien. Entonces, por ahí say, hey, I'm going to do this in an honest way por ahí. No se puede decir ahora. Pero bueno, tenemos ese tipo de problemas que en realidad son cosas que uno tiene que ir viendo cómo arreglar, pero eso es lo que pasa. ¿No? Las clases en línea, las universidades cuando toman exámenes, yo sé que exigen que tengan ciertos requisitos para dar exámenes y para dar exámenes en su casa, por ejemplo, ¿no? O sea, no nomás una cámara, por ahí quién sabe por qué. Con una cámara no hacemos nada. Y encima tenemos el problema de economía también, porque algunos ni tienen cámara porque o se les arruina, entonces no, ¿qué les puedes decir? Compren cámaras. O sea, la exigencia en realidad para clases de Zoom son tener micrófono y cámara para pasar clases. O sea, se les dice eso. Se supone que les dicen eso en la administración cuando se están inscribiendo a los papás, porque los papás son los que más molestan por ese lado también. Entonces, me imagino que les dicen, pero cuando existen estudiantes que dicen, no funciona mi cámara, yo no creo. Entonces, lo que les digo es, ok, mandame una nota donde diga que tu cámara no funciona para que avise a la administración a quien se vea y después van a llamar a tu casa y van a hablar con tus papás. Porque algunos chicos son muy vivos. O sea, y además hay una flojera total para hacer cosas, especialmente en las tardes cuando el colegio es un desastre también, porque cuando vienen algunos a clase en las tardes, porque algunos vienen así, están muertos, así, se duermen en clases. ¿Por qué estás cansado? Que no he dormido bien, teacher. ¿Y por qué? Mucha tarea. O sea, los llenan de tareas en las tardes a los chicos y lo que hacen además también es el programa, investigar, copiar y no sé qué más harán, se trasnochan haciendo tareas y encima tienen que venir al CBA por ahí. O sea, es un poco pesado también, entonces ellos tienen que ver, ¿no? Si pueden o no pueden, porque lo que pasa es que los papás también, vas o vas. Entonces, pero también es una forma de que es verdad que la mejor edad para aprender inglés es cuando están en los 13, 14, 15, 16 años. Pues cuando están grandes, les cuesta mucho más. Entonces, por eso es que en cierta forma los papás también, no sé si sabrán o no, porque también hay padres y padres, pero igual los mandan. Entonces están aquí, apenas están despertando en clases, porque se duermen de cansancio y no sé qué. Y el sistema educativo en Bolivia es un desastre. O sea, no pueden dar tareas. O sea, dan tareas para corregir al día siguiente en el colegio. Es decir, si tienes 50 alumnos ahí y de repente quieren corregir las 50, ¿qué hace el profesor todo el día corrigiendo tareas o cosas? O sea, es un desastre, realmente. No puede ser. O sea, el nivel es bajísimo en todo sentido en educación. Si leen el nivel educativo en Bolivia comparado con los otros países que existen, estamos en un desastre. O sea, no mejoramos en nada, cada vez es peor, la flojera existe así a raudales, ganas de superar y de hacer no existen mucho. conocer más, saber más sobre cosas, digamos, no hay ese booster para ser mejor cada vez, no existe. Entonces, así está la cosa en la educación, o sea, ojalá alguna vez cambie, pero yo creo que no va a cambiar, porque hace 50 años o más, educación, no sé qué, no sé qué, no sé qué, y no pasa absolutamente nada, ¿no? Y eso se nota también en el comportamiento externo de la sociedad, en la ciudad, cómo la gente está ahora en cuanto a la respuesta, se ha vuelto demasiado agresiva, con mucho derecho a todo y no sé qué, o sea, no estamos bien, porque la idea es que somos tan poquitos en esa ciudad, en realidad si comparan países o ciudades, hay ciudades que tienen la población de Bolivia. Nosotros somos, aquí tenemos 3 millones, será, pues, en Cochabamba, pero así hasta, no, pero en la zona donde uno se mueve, o sea, no somos muchos, deberíamos vivir felices de la vida, de todo, pero no es bien complicado porque la gente se ha vuelto muy mal educada, muy irresponsable, muy de todo, entonces no está muy bien. Es que si ustedes han visto o han vivido o han viajado a algún lugar fuera de Bolivia, se pueden dar cuenta cómo es realmente vivir aquí, digamos. O sea, vivir aquí no es malo, no es mal, ¿por qué? Porque tenemos tiempo para todo, es otra cosa, ¿no? Ya, a mediodía pueden ir a su casa, volver en la tarde donde tienen que ir, este tipo de cosas, ¿no? O sea, buena comida, todo fresco. Estamos por ese lado, digamos, no hay, estamos bien. O sea, porque estar fuera, todas esas cosas son diferentes, ¿no? Si tuviéramos el plus de ser buenas personas, educados y, ¿no? Respetando cosas, quién sabe, wow, sería un paraíso esto, pero nomás no es, pues, por esa parte, pero el resto, digamos, sacrificio y esfuerzo y cosas, se vive bien aquí. Con Cochabamba se vive bien. No es, no es que estamos mal como vivir en ciudades grandes es un poco es grave. El otro día estaba viendo un video de la India, terrible, porque además son millones, es el segundo país más poblado del mundo. Entonces, imagínense una ciudad, ¿cómo es? O sea, y los servicios básicos y todas esas cosas. O sea, pero India es un extremo por ahí también, ¿no? Pero de todas maneras sirve como referencia para decir, uy, aquí en Bolivia estamos re contra, vivimos todas las calles, todo. Es bonito, es. No, no está mal, en serio. Vivimos bien, no hay esa pobreza así extrema. O sea, yo no veo pobreza extrema aquí en Bolivia, digamos, no existe. O sea, hay gente que se muera de hambre aquí en Bolivia, como en otros lugares, no hay. O sea, la gente dentro de todo eso tiene su mote, su papa, su choclo, su, sí, su platanito también, cualquier cosa para vivir. O sea, no estamos así como que...
Tal vez sí, pues no, es un país bonito, pero hay lugares como México, La Paz, ¿no? Lugares que son más áridos, donde no tiene agua, pues sí se ve una pobreza bastante.
Sí, hay pobreza, claro que existe pobreza, pero tienen que...
Pero que es diferente a nuestro Bolivia, que
claro,
es una panacea aquí. No me
ay,
puede comer porque es boliviano. Aparte, pues,
uy, sí, aquí con 5 bolivianos comen.
carísimo. O sea,
No,
no, es muy barato.
sí, no, sí, claro, por eso digo, aquí Cochabamba es una belleza.
Quizás lo que usted dice tiene mucho que ver con el nivel de rango que se puede adquirir, no solo es un nivel de vida, ¿no? Como la India, puede ser 1000 veces más rico que Bolivia.
Sí, pues, sí, claro.
Pero la gente es horrible, porque es sucia, ha visto como come, no me veo, y bueno, bastante.
Claro, sí, ese es un
Puede
poco
morir solo
cultural, ¿no?
tomando agua, y es-
Sí, tiene que ver mucho con la cultura y las tradiciones, ¿no? Porque
Son
son musulmanes.
los ingleses para Inglaterra, la élite mundial, sí, pero bueno.
Pero la rebeldía también ha hecho de que los no acepten cosas,
Sí,
¿no? Entonces,
sí, eso,
y además la religión, hay mucho musulmán también. Los musulmanes tienen reglas para comer. O sea, no comen nada de esos lados.
La religión es terrible. Pues si se da cuenta aquí en Bolivia, básicamente todos los países conquistados, más bien conquistados, colonizados en algún sentido, desde el Río Bravo, los Estados Unidos, hasta, no sé, hasta Patagonia, hasta Ushuaia, y Latinoamérica
Sí.
es como México, pero un poquitito más de adulta, ¿no? Porque creo yo, ¿no?
Sí.
También.
Solo que también solamente viendo en Sudamérica, por ejemplo, cómo es Bolivia y comparando con los países que nos rodean, uno dice, ¿y cómo han progresado estos, digamos? Porque nosotros, el progreso de ver infraestructura, digamos, tener metros y esas cosas, y trenes y todo ese movimiento que existe. Nada más un ejemplo es Buenos Aires, por ejemplo. Si uno va a Buenos Aires y ve la diferencia que hay entre esa ciudad y otras que hay en Bolivia, si uno dice, ¿y cómo han hecho los argentinos o la gente que vive aquí para hacer todo esto? En Bolivia no pasa nada de eso, ¿no? Entonces, y si uno va a Chile también, ¿no? Si vas al Perú, Perú es igual que nosotros, somos los mismos, tenemos los mismos ancestros, ¿no? El Brasil, todos los otros países, o sea, Colombia, que es. Y nosotros como que nos quedamos así, medio estancados, ¿no? O sea, estamos ahí. Entonces uno dice, ¿cómo han progresado estos? ¿Qué han hecho? Entonces, hay nomás una diferencia en la gente, ¿no? Como hay gente que sí quiere desarrollar y quiere avanzar, quién sabe. Y nosotros como que no, porque siempre estamos además extendiendo la mano para pedir. Entonces no hay mucho esfuerzo, quizá. Bueno, todas esas cosas. Dentro de todo, se vive bien en Bolivia en general, por si acaso. Nada más, si pueden ir a otro lugar y ver cómo es. Se vive bien, no tenemos problemas de todo tipo, pero podría ser mejor. Y la educación es muy importante dentro de todo eso, ¿no? O sea, en los colegios tiene que mejorar la educación para que los chicos también, o sea, cuando uno pregunta después de cuando salen en vacaciones y después dicen las clases van a comenzar la próxima semana, por decir algo. Y cuando dicen, ya la próxima semana comienzan clases. ¿Están contentos de volver a clases? El 80% no quieren volver a clases, no quieren volver a clases. Entonces, hay algo que está mal. Y hay sistemas educativos que están mucho más avanzados, ¿no? Eso de la tarea es un desastre, ¿no? No debería existir tarea para los colegios. No tienen que trabajar en los colegios, ¿no? En el aula. ¿No? Y la tarde la tienen que dedicar a hacer otro tipo de cosas, para desarrollar el ser humano. El ser humano necesita crecer por varios lugares, ¿no? O sea, expandir conocimiento, porque estar en colegio en la mañana, toda la mañana sentados, en la tarde otra vez sentados haciendo no sé qué, o sea, ¿qué estás desarrollando en tu vida como ser humano, digamos? O sea, ¿qué estás haciendo por ahí? Entonces, hay que crear, en la mañana debería haber clases normales y en la tarde tener otras cosas. Entonces, pero tener otras cosas significa que no les den tarea en los colegios para que trabajen en su casa. Tendrían que estar haciendo deporte, teatro, música, ¿qué más? Danza, tecnología, lo que quieran, pero otra cosa que nada tenga que ver con el colegio, digamos. Entonces, así tienes una formación integral. Y también de ahí salen los músicos, los deportistas, los artistas, ese tipo de cosas, porque ahorita no hay, en todo estamos mal. Deporte mal. ¿En qué estamos bien, digamos?
Fútbol está bien.
Fútbol.
Pero. Está bien.
Fútbol, estamos mal en fútbol en general. O sea, aunque Bolívar juegue bien ahora, pero está mal.
Teacher, es tema de la educación que bien cansado, especialmente los adolescentes. Tengo una prima de 16 que está en el menor. Yo no sabía, me entero recién de que le decía, no le gusta igual a ella pasar, que era muy importante la tarea. Dice, ¿qué más? Por completo, pero no tengo que hacer nada más, es todo. Yo creo que no podría ser mi clase de porque está mucho, pero no podría ser más ordenada, ¿no? Si todo es entonces, tarea, entonces, ¿en qué momento uno, no sé, un poco temas, un juego, no sé,
Nada.
la vida no puede ser solamente eso. ¿Y qué te dicen?
No, ma-
Todo, como la cabeza.
No sé. El militar es estricto, ¿no?
Ah,
Pero,
bueno, entonces, poco de
pero también es que es la comunidad de los profesores.
es y para estudiar,
¿Qué?
es análisis, por ejemplo, acá, no sé, pero tiene un nivel bastante alto.
Yo he estudiado en San Agustín.
Lo hacen fuera de
Yo salí de San Agustín.
ese sí, libertad, también tiene eso.
Pero no era así. Nosotros no teníamos tareas. No.
Un tío,
O sea,
me dijo que en su época, incluso en la música, porque cuando pasaba música era un cuadro especial y les hacían celebrar todo, pero otro tipo de enseñanza, ¿no? Gente de otro lado,
diferente.
algo así como la de, no sé, otra mentalidad.
Sí, es un poco diferente. Por eso es el mejor colegio.
Sí, sí.
Y además, la formación no solamente es técnica, o humana, humanística, va más allá también porque mm, es un poco el análisis de muchas otras cosas, digamos, como que tu mente se abre así. O sea, en los colegios ahora es un poco muy cerrados, ¿no? Esto, y tarea, así.
Es como una perspectiva, ¿cómo se comunica?
El Calvert es cooperativo. No es cooperativo. No. O sea, antes era manejada por los holandeses hasta cierto momento y después han cambiado a bolivianos, pero no es cooperativa, es un colegio normal, con pensiones y todo lo demás.
Hace poquito creo que han plantado arbolitos.
Sí, han ido a plantar arbolitos los chicos. Sí, a varios lugares.
Estudiar desde ir a plantar, desde estar toqueando todo el día.
Exacto, eso deberían hacer en todos los colegios. Además, esta ciudad necesita árboles. Yo siempre reclamo cuántos árboles existen en su cuadra, digo, donde viven. Si no tienen, entonces pues hagan algo para poner 2 arbolitos por lo menos en cada cuadra, frente a frente, 4 por cuadra, digamos. Porque si alguna vez han salido en avión por ese lado hacia allá, yo no sé cuándo, me parecía el Alto de La Paz, toda esta zona de aquí, no había un solo árbol. Terrible, seco todo. O sea, por eso es todo lo que ocurre en temperatura también es justo a consecuencia de ese tipo de cosas. Entonces, hay que poner unos arbolitos en esa zona de allá, aquí de esa zona, y decirles a los chicos que viven ahí que planten algo, porque no hay. Y la ciudad también, hay ciertos lugares aquí en la ciudad que están muy bien porque tienen árboles, pero de hace años, ¿no? Pero hay otras zonas donde nada. Entonces, yo creo que los los jóvenes tendrían que por ahí decir, pucha, pondremos un arbolito, 2 aquí, a ver. ¿no? Averiguar además cuáles pueden crecer un poco más rápido, porque tampoco podemos esperar 50 años para que un árbol crezca, ¿no? Ya no. Tiene que ser, sí, no. Tienen que ser un árboles que ya crezcan rápido y generen sombra y todo este tipo de cosas. No saben no sé si han visto cómo ayuda una cuadra sin árboles y otra cuadra con árboles, lo que significa en temperatura, digamos, ¿no? Ah, sí, claro,
Da la misma sensación de entrar a una pared que tiene arbolitos, ya que cambia todo.
exactamente, exactamente. Todo, entonces hay que hacer esa. En el CBA también con algunos estudiantes de intercambios, estudiantes que están con el sistema, no sé cómo no. Pero hay los del MLK, es donde Martin Luther King, son becas de colegios, para colegios fiscales que quieren aprender. Eso es para todos los negros, ¿no? Los morenos, para ellos. O sea, decir negro no tiene nada de malo, o sea, simplemente depende de quién lo tome. Los morenos. Eso, los afrodescendientes. Esos, los MLKs. Después hay hay otro, no me acuerdo qué nombre. Esos chicos han ido por el sistema, porque tienen un poco separado del CBA, trabajan un poco distinto, a sembrar, plantar árboles en algún lugar. Entonces también hacen ese tipo de campañas y yo creo que es hora de, bueno, no es, hace tiempo debía haber sido, pero ahora todavía hay tiempo, yo creo. Tiene un poco más de tiempo quizá para mejorar el efecto ese invierno, y supuestamente en esta época, otros años hace un poco más frío, ¿no? Ahora no se siente, está caliente nomás, ¿no? Entonces, me imagino que sí, el verano va a ser mortal, ¿no? Comenzando ya en agosto, que hace poco, ¿no? Pero nos falta todavía la parte de invierno, pero aparentemente no está caliente. O sea, ahorita la temperatura no ha bajado tanto. Bueno, eso, chicos, esa es la idea. No sé de qué estamos hablando, al final se acaba en este, pero bueno. De acuerdo. Ya, pues. Okay, well, this is idea of this simple past. We finished with this first part of simple past. Now, the second we are going to finish with this. The second part is this simple past tense, negative statements and questions. That's here. So if you remember how we have to make negative statements or sentences and questions with simple past, the only thing you have to remember is that we have to use an auxiliary, and the auxiliary for this is did, and that's it. Another thing that we need to remember about simple past is that if we are going to write or make negative sentences and questions, the verb is always in the base form. That's something that we need to remember, and that's what we're going to see in the part of explanations, and this is the next unit. Here we have like introduction of Amelia Earhart. No sé si han escuchado de esta persona. Creo que hay otro libro de inglés también. Amelia Earhart, this is a woman, first woman pilot, and it's a little bit about her. Es un poquito sobre ella lo que cuenta esto. And it says that she crashed because until now, they don't know what happened with her, but she had a problem. And since then, desde esa época, we don't know anything. They say that she crashed. Other people say that she's still alive, no sé qué cosas. Okay, but this is a story, like resume about this. And the question says, did she crash? Now, because of past tense, did auxiliary for questions, right? This is the way we have to use, and the verb crash is in the base form. That's part of how we have to use this or understand the idea of negative sentences and questions with simple past. Now, we have to read this, and then we have this checkpoint, true, false for the sentences. Okay, who wants to read this to practice English? Somebody just to read this to practice English? Okay.
Each correction, July 2, 1937, Amelia Earhart is now playing with the Iceland of line, exactly 12 or 12 She was not alone in the flight, but she and her parents now to the airport were very tired. She reported her hospitalization at 14 after that, she didn't know me. When you contact again, why did they disappear? Where they stop? Did they run out of gas? They just caught one. Start in search for the answer. 10:15 p.m.
Exactly. Yes, those are well, that's a story, a short story about this Amelia Earhart. And the words that are in bold case in negritas, like was, then we have was not, like negative, did not make, negative also. The question, did they disappear? Then were they exhausted? Question with the verb be. Did they run out of gas? Again, question with did. And the verbs in these questions are in the base form. And the negative sentences, también, the verb is in the base form. So that's one of the, let's say, like rules or characteristic of verbs that we use with simple past, negatives, and questions. Tienen que estar, they have to be in the base form. Now, with that information, we have this true, false, or no information, because this question mark significa que no hay información. Or like it says here, the article doesn't say. So the plane crashed, true, false. Yes. Earhart made radio contact after 8:14 p.m.
False.
False. Earhart had a navigator with her. True. Yes, she had a navigator with her. Exactly. Okay. And this is the past of the verb be here, the negative, and I think we saw, well, wasn't like contraction, weren't like contraction for negative sentences here. And with the past tense that we use with verbs, action verbs, we have to use an auxiliary. Like negatives here did not, the negative. And another thing that we need to remember is that all the subjects with this did not in a base form means that doesn't change, no cambia, no, because in the only case that changes with subject is with simple present, when we use this do, does, que sé yo. But when we have simple past, with the subject that you use, the verb doesn't change. It's always the same, and that's, I think, one of the things that makes simple past más fácil, creo yo. I think it makes it it makes it easier, probably. Okay, here we have the chart check, and it says check the correct answers. What words do you add to be to form a negative statement? Not, did not. Not. And what do you add to other verbs to form a negative statement? Not, did not. Did not. Yes, and that's what we have in the structure here. The negative of the verb be, wasn't and weren't, and the negative of regular and irregular verbs, simple past, like we know. Negatives with didn't. That's what we have, the auxiliary. We have to use the auxiliaries for negatives. And simple past questions with the same idea. To make questions with a verb be, change the position. That's what we know, right? Was she, were they, was he, etc. And like yes, no questions, the answers are yes or no. Son las dos únicas posibilidades, right? Yes, she was, or yes, they were, or no, she wasn't, no, they weren't. That's the way we have to make questions with the verb be. And information questions practically is the same. We have WH words, we have the verb be. The verb be is also like auxiliary también, no? Because if you compare with simple past con auxiliar, this was verb funcionan como auxiliares, you know? Because we have to change the position and there also are like auxiliaries. Okay, these questions like information, why was she here last year? Why were they here last year? Like information questions. And the same happens with yes, no questions with verbs that we saw that are the irregular or regular verbs. We have to use this did is a must, tiene que ser así siempre, right? Did she fly to Mexico? Look, the base form, the verb here, always in the base form. Did she fly to Mexico? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. In this information questions, también, the same idea. We have the WH words. This is one example. What, the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb in the base form. Siempre son así las fórmulas. Now, ya saben que esto es para repasar lo que saben, pero if you have any questions about something that you don't know, don't remember, aquí es donde tienen que aclarar todas sus dudas, ¿no? Porque si siguen arrastrando problemas de gramática hasta quién sabe cuándo, por ahí no estaría bien, pero aquí es donde tienen que aprender, esto no me acuerdo, ¿cómo era? ¿Qué sé yo? Es la idea de esa parte de gramática, porque hasta lo hemos visto hasta antes de esto, todo eso ya saben, ¿no? Entonces ahí de repente nacen, esto yo no me acuerdo y quería saber y por ahí tengo que preguntar, no sé, algo así. Okay, that's the idea. Here we have the chart check. Eso pueden hacer en su casa porque ya es hora, vámonos a hacer porque quieres. Okay, thanks very much for being in classes, chicos. Have a nice weekend. Nos vemos Monday. Hagan inglés de fin de semana. Todos los días un poquito. Peliculitas, musiquita, lo que quieran. Thanks very much. Bye bye, people. Take care. Bye. See you.
Buenas películas, porque creo que sí, en YouTube también he encontrado